All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. We're going to be taking a look at game number 2 between Mouse's Morrow and ESC's Goody. We can see right here in the bottom left position, we do have Goody as the purple Terran, and in the bottom right as the green Zerg, we do have Morrow. So Terran versus Zerg, game number 2 in this best of 3. And this time we are, of course, on Shakur's Plateau, version of the map without these destructible rocks in the back of the bases. I much prefer them there. I really like having kind of that danger and those alternative openings into the base. I'm really disappointed actually that they ended up doing this. It obviously created an issue for many players, and there are certain situations and I guess in which terms it would be considered imbalanced, if you would like to throw that word out there. But either way, it made for interesting gameplay, and I'll tell you, it sure made for a hella interesting commentary. So anyways, yes. Game number 2, we can see right now, looks like Morrow's going to be moving his Overlord straight across and into the main base. He's going to be catching Goody right away with that. And a quick recap of last game, we did see that opening harassment from ESC Goody with the Hellions and Marines. Very, very effective play. Ended up taking out a lot of Morrow's workers. Then he followed that up basically by going into a very macro-heavy focus, getting up his mech army with he got a lot of upgrades, double armies, getting 4 factories as well, moving into his third, and he basically didn't have to worry at all about Morrow because Morrow was spending all of his time droning back up. He was pretty much forced to because he lost so many workers. And then we just saw a very nice mech style play and push from Goody. One big thing was that first huge engagement. Unfortunately for Morrow, he had a bunch of corruptors sitting in the back and weren't dealing with those Vikings at all. So those Vikings were able to quickly take care of, they were able to just almost instantly snipe down all of those Broodlords that Morrow did have. And look at this, man. Very fast expansion from Goody. Very, very incredibly fast. Faster than fast. In fact, it's the fastest. Sound like I'm selling crap over here. We get to right now, Overlord pulling back right now. Looks like that drone is going to scout the super fast expo. Drone's going to actually start to work on this SCV because he knows any SCV buddies are far away. 2 SCVs moving down to try to deal with this. Is he going to pull it off in time? Hopefully he doesn't lose this. That's the last thing he wants. There we go. Finally able to pull that off in time. Going to head him back on home. And the drone's still going to continue his pursuit. He is dead set on taking out that SCV. Another SCV moving forward to try to deal with it. Are we going to see a repair job, or what's going to happen? Is he going to lose it? There we go. Nice repair work going down. And actually, the drone of Morrow, we're seeing some really sweet worker micro this early in the game. The drone of Morrow going to be working his way on through. Should be heading out. But the big thing right now is that he is fully aware that Goody is going for the super fast expo. So I'm going to be very interested to see how Morrow decides to respond. We can see he himself did go for a fast expand. He's also got that pool almost finished. There's that extractor working on through right now. Overlord going to be making its way across and then spotting right over here. So that expo for Goody just about finished right now. Starting to get his first orbital command. He does have 2 racks up front for a semi-wall off. He does, of course, still have this space right here. First Marine just about finished. Is he going to be able to take out that drone? I think he should be. Is he going to pop on the other side? No, he doesn't have to. That Marine is going to be able to take care of that drone very quickly right now. I'm wondering if the drone's actually going to try to go for a gas steal just to stay in the base a little bit longer. Is he going to do it? No, wasn't able to do it, unfortunately. Drone does get dropped. So let's take a quick look over here for Morrow. Morrow, the expo is up. He's got a couple workers sitting on down over here. Looks like he does, in fact, have 6. SCV Scout going to move in. Scouting the expo, going to be moving up into the main. He's not going to be able to catch a whole lot, and those first 4 Zerglings are just about finished right now. And anticipation of that, basically, the SCV is, in fact, pulling back home because he doesn't want to kind of lose that unnecessarily. Another rack's coming up, so Goody going with 3 racks for that frontal wall off. Here are 2 refineries. Any more over here? No, there are not. Just those 2 refineries for the moment. Going to be interested to see what he decides to do. Given the fact that he has 3 barracks, I'm going to almost assume that we're going to be seeing a barracks heavy build, right? That's a fair assumption. But another thing to keep in mind is that just to finish this wall off, he kind of wanted those. That could be part of the reason. But playing a bio build is not the worst of things against Zerg, especially if you do some dropping for some consistent harass at expos and trying to snipe buildings and things of the sort. SCV going to move on in, see if he can catch any tech. Don't think he's going to, though. The other thing that he wanted to check was how hard Morrow was droning. Now, Morrow, of course, droning very hard. Got 11 drones coming out. Going to be working on his second extractor. Never mind, there's a Baneling's nest. There's an extractor right there. Coming out with some Banelings. So, going to be seeing Speedling Baneling play from Morrow. I'm going to see how effective that does do. Obviously, going to do quite well against a Marine heavy build, and we can see Goody is, in fact, going for that. Going to be interested to see whether or not... Ooh, there was a sack overlord over there. It looks like those Marines took out the overlord that was spotted over here. But anyways, going to be interested to see how he intends on playing this. Morrow, of course, can try to work up his economy, even try to go for a third, or he can just go for a strong push. He does have 14 Zerglings coming out, so he may actually be trying to go for a Baneling bust. That is quite possible. 20 Zerglings, in fact. So he has, for the moment, stopped all drone production. He's not too worried about continuing up to work on his economy. We can see double factories, 3 factories, so it looks like we're going to be seeing another mech style play from Goody. Those barracks were in fact primarily just used for that wall off and for some early game defense. He's getting ready to transition right into a mech heavy play. Still no armory, but I'm imagining that that's going to come sometime in the near future. 20 more Zerglings coming out for Morrow. So Morrow most definitely going to be going for a Baneling bust. Going to be seeing some Banelings morphing out here, and then going to be trying to roll right through these barracks. And this could be very, very effective for him, pulling a little bit of resources, but that is of course going to be used to turn all of these Zerglings into Banelings, or at least a good portion of them. So there are the Banelings, 16 Banelings coming through, a couple more Zerglings. So yes, Morrow is definitely, he's going for it right now. He wants to do a lot of damage. He doesn't even really have to take out Goody right here, but if he can try to take out this Expo, that's going to be a big advantage for him. We are seeing a bunch of Hellions coming out. Same with that Infernal Pre-Igniter. He needs to get up in there before there are too many Hellions, because those Hellions will make very quick work of these Zerglings and Banelings. That Baneling ball is going to have no problem busting right through this, probably even taking out the bunker with it. Zergling moving forward to try to check the unit composition. He wants to see if there are any tanks up there or anything like that, but here come the Banelings rolling straight on in. Let's see how effective this is. We have a few Hellions right there. Banelings taken out very quickly, 2 ranks down. Hellions going to do what they can, needs to micro away. He can actually take care of the Zergling threat pretty much no problem if he micros those Hellions properly. A couple of Zerglings moving on there, a couple of Banelings rolling on in as well. SCVs working up into the main, back to the safety of the Hellion, but Zerglings right down here, a couple of Banelings rolling in. Goody's taking heavy economic losses. Banelings almost killing all those SCVs right now. Those Hellions again should have no problem dealing with the Zergling threat, but the Zerglings have been doing a lot of damage. Nice Baneling bust on all those Hellions. A couple of Banelings trying to morph in here as well. We do have continuous Zergling production coming on through. A couple of Hellions trying to work on through as well. There's pretty much no mining going off at that Expo. A couple guys on the refinery, but these Banelings and Zerglings have done so much damage. Let's take a look at the units lost. We're about equal, but the big thing is that Goody's lost a lot of his economy. Banelings and Zerglings trying to deal with these Hellions. These Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions, though, absolutely destroying these Zerglings. They just do so much damage to them. It is unreal the amount of damage that those Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions do to Zerglings. It's also unreal that I haven't lost my breath and passed out yet, because this has just been intense. Couple more Banelings rolling on down. Needs to just be careful of those Hellions. He wants to walk right into the SCVs. Is he going to get the pop? Very, very close right now. Yes, one pop does go off. There is a second. Goody losing so much right there. Goody just lost an incredible amount of workers. Let's take a quick look right now. We do still have a few Zerglings, but the intensity has subsided a little bit. 9 workers left for Goody. This is a big problem, even though Morrow, of course, has really put a lot into this, and he's lost almost an equal amount of resources than Goody has. He also has much better mining right now. Goody is sitting on very few workers. Again, here we are, only 7 workers right now. We do have these Hellions over here for Goody, but I don't think that's going to be able to push in, because we've got a Roach transition coming right now from Morrow. So Morrow, very nice play, busting through. He did so much damage to that. It's unreal. I want to take a look at it on this graph chart. Look at that, 39 total workers killed, 59 total units, so a bunch of Marines and Hellions mixed up in there as well. So very nice by Morrow, coming out with a couple spine crawls. Also dropping some Evo chambers to make this a full wall off. That's going to stop those Hellions from being able to push in at all. Does he have any space whatsoever? I think there could possibly be a space right there. I could be mistaken, though. He canceled it at the last moment. Jesus. That's he's actually okay. He's temporarily protecting himself. He doesn't actually want to get. I'm really liking this actually. He's just temporarily protecting himself. He doesn't actually want to keep these Evo chambers up here, just to stop from that counter push that could have been really devastating from those Hellions. Buy him time to get out those Roaches. Now that the Roaches are in play, he is safe. He's going to stop those Evo chambers. I am not sure right now. Goody is just way too far behind. His economy is way too hurting. Right now, he's forced to work almost fully on his economy. He's keeping up constant production. You can see he actually has a few extra SCVs queued up. That's not a mistake. I mean, he's going to want them eventually, but he's spending those resources when he otherwise could be using them on kind of defensive units and some more Hellions or something, because here comes another push, but obviously Hellions wouldn't help against this Roach transition. Roach is moving across the board, and I'm not sure. Goody might have to just call a good game right now. The only thing he's got that's good against those Roaches is that unsieged each tank, but is it going to be enough? Is one tank going to be enough? Those Hellions just do, like, they just tickle the roaches. That's it. So he's actually just going to move right in the Expo. He's just going to stop mining from this Expo, and that's a good decision. He does not need to do much more else than this. If he can just force Goody to the one base, fine, great, good for him. You know, he's probably going to actually be moving in. There we go. I'm expecting an Expo to come up right now. He might actually be even going for 2 because we can see the 2 workers. Yes, he is. So going to be dropping an Expo right here and then moving up and dropping an Expo right here. Obviously, Morrow right now in a commanding position. He has won the game at this point, just a matter of time basically until Goody calls it because he's way too far behind. We can see Morrow coming up again for that 3rd and that 4th. He's even working up a transition. He's got the layer in play. He's got an in-base hatch coming. He's working on a spire, and the fact that Goody's still on one bases after taking such heavy losses means it's pretty much impossible for him to actually catch back up. Roach is just kind of chilling out here. They don't even care that those Hellions are attacking him. This guy's like, I don't give a frick. No big deal. I'm just going to chill out right here. I mean, as long as he just stops his base from landing, it doesn't matter. He can just do whatever with these roaches. He just needs to stop that from landing, and he is pretty much all set. Just buying himself more time. He's macroing up. Got a ton of Zerglings coming up as well. There's that Spire just about finished. So, yeah, I mean, this game's all but over. Just waiting pretty much. This game is over. I said all but. People correct me on a lot of things. People corrected me on that specifically. They said, you can't say all but because it means the opposite of how you said it, and blah-bitty blah, blah, blah. So, anyways, Morrow, yes, commanding position. Morrow has won the game. Again, Goody is just delaying the inevitable. He's just so far behind, and he has done jack squat in terms of damage to Goody. He's done jack squat in terms of damage to Morrow. Goody's just taking so much abuse, but without doing any sort of counter aggression. Obviously, he's got these Hellions out, but there's no drones for him to work on. Those Hellions are going to take umpteen million years to actually kill this hatchery, so no big deal. So yeah, we just have to wait for that big final fight, I guess, because Goody, I mean, kudos to Goody. He is sticking with it. He doesn't want to just give up the game. Never give up, never surrender, if you will. He's gonna wait until Morrow actually pulls the victory from his cold, dead hand. So there you go. Gonna be moving forward, taking out those Hellions. And even those Hellions weren't able to do any damage. And there we go. Goody finally just calling the good GG. He realizes again he did no damage. He took so many losses. There is the end of the game. This game, we saw Goody open up with a very, very fast expansion, moving right into his natural, actually, with the 15 command center, then going with his barracks wall off, relying early game just on some Marines and a bunker as early game defense. In spotting that Goody had fast expanded, Morrow decided instead of going econ heavy, he would just go for a straight up Baneling bust, rolling Banelings right into the fairly undefended front base of Morrow, busted right through, got the Zerglings and Banelings into the main base, and even though Goody was able to fend off with some Hellions, it wasn't without his losses. He just took heavy economic losses, the Zerglings and Banelings rolling right through his entire economy. After holding off that threat, Morrow was in a temporary position of weakness where he could have taken a lot of damage from those Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions moving out for a counterattack before he had roaches up. But as we can see here, Morrow going for this evolution trick, dropping it for a full wall off and then canceling them before they finish. And then once he got roaches out, fully canceling it and just moving out and using those roaches as defense. Once the roaches were in play, Morrow moved out with a secondary attack, and since Goody was pretty much just sitting with Hellions, he could do pretty much nothing about it. It was only the one tank that would actually be anything relatively effective to these roaches. In doing so, Morrow was able to stop this Expo from doing any more mining, and that was pretty much the end of the game at that point. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 between Morrow and Goody. Going to be moving on to game number 3 in just one moment. Remember, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.